Here we go again. Another one. This time just sort of dodging the chook house proper. Have a look at all of this. It's really made a mess of the fence this time. And that adds to my current collection. Have a look at that. The storm conditions we've had recently have really wreaked havoc on a lot of properties around here. In the background you can probably hear a lot of the chainsaws and things that are going from the storm damage. Pretty lucky here in the patch and the property generally. Apart from those branches over the last few days, we've been pretty unscathed. So yeah, I guess this week sort of a bit of a chance for a catch up. Hopefully get a bit of conditions where I'm not being blown all over the place, and give you a bit of a report on how things are going around here. Surprisingly, because of the heat we've had, it's just been incredible. 38, 39, 40, 41. We dodged 43 yesterday, made it to 40 for a little while, but geez, nature's getting stuck into us, I can tell you. It was earlier this year when I went down to an organic market and we bought some fruit, a variety of things, because we were trying to keep some seed. And one of the things that we kept there obviously were these Buckeye tomatoes. Unfortunately, most of the damage in the patch has fallen on the Buckeyes, some of the older ones that were already fruiting. But to give you an idea, we're getting some brilliant fruit off them. But unfortunately, this plant's been broken basically at the base from some of the debris that was blowing around. So the end result from that is that we have to pick these and make use of them. Pick a lot of them green, see if they can harvest. But the question is, would I try Buckeye again? Definitely would. They were producing really, really well. They're thirsty though, I'll say that. I must admit, Tommy Toes, Grossley's, Lemon Drop, variety of other varieties that we've got going didn't seem to be as water dependent on these guys, but by the same token, the fruit is really nice. So anyway, reconsider it. Buy some fruit, buy some seeds, get them both at the same time in the packet they originally came in. Perfect. Thought I'd give you a bit of an update on some of Don's fruit that he gave me in a previous video. So these are some of the capsicums that were the ones that were sort of a bit slowing down and a bit stressed when we actually got them. But as you can see, you know, what have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 capsicum plants. The rest are actually already in the ground and are growing really, really well. I've still got 6 tomatoes I haven't found a home for, but I've got a bit of a plan. It's for a tomato and a toilet, but more on that to come. Kate, our second female Kiwi, is absolutely going berserk in a spot here and already climbing up the pole really well. I need to put some, perhaps some chook wire up here to make sure she can climb a little bit more easily, but she loves it in here. She's coping with the heat, enjoying the irrigation. I think in retrospect, I've made a little bit of a mistake with where I put the other guys, but that's no problem. We will get some more growth sorted out, but as this arbor sort of pergola area increases over time, this is going to be perfect. But just have a look at the growth on her in here. She's going so well. I'm actually sheet mulching a lot of the beds that we have here. So basically what that is, I've been using my new toy. Luke, I am your father. It's a hedge trimmer. To cut a lot of stuff down around the property. And what I'm doing is I'm actually layering down the cut up material and then mulching on top. So I'll show you what I mean. So under here you have a mixture of sort of greens from hedge clippings and things like that, and also the tops of a lot of onion that have been just cut and dropped here. I'm trying to apply a bit of a chop and drop approach to the actual raised garden beds. I want to take it a step forward though from what I'm doing here, because I actually want to start using more of the natural cover as one of my goals for the new year. So the bed over here, which is basically finished and tired, I want to get this ready. You may remember this is my garlic bed that I prepped back in April, May. it's seen enough, the soil's gotten really dry, a bit exhausted, so I need to refresh this. This is a bit of a moral exercise in what you shouldn't do with dragon fruit. Now, if you have a look at my dragon fruit cutting, it's going incredibly well. It's probably about 3.5 foot high now. The problem is when I start getting into the reality of the situation, and I'll show you what that is. I was doing a cleanup in the garden, and I put the potted dragon fruit cutting out of the hothouse because it was getting a little bit too hot in there for it, and just set it in there in the pot with this capsicum, which is a bit of a sacrificial capsicum for the possum to try and keep him away from the main crop, but he's actually rooted in perfectly, as has a tomato seedling which blew off the table in the storm and I forgot, and that's rooted in well. But that doesn't matter. This is where the dragon fruit is going to grow. It's going to live with a capsicum. I just need to get a frame in here for him, but I cannot get over how much growth we've seen. The actual height has probably tripled in the last 2 to 3 months, and that is amazing. There are people who watch the channel and whose channels I really like Paul from Urban Bounty, who's a real dragon fruit person. Any advice, but definitely I've made a mistake, but I've got to live with it.